Are you struggling with cravings or stubborn weight gain? Your gut might be affecting your leptin levels. Now, leptin resistance is very common, and there has been now found a link between what's going on with your gut and leptin resistance. So there's something called LPS, and this is something that certain gut microbes will release, lipopolysaccharide, that LPS, and it's a toxin that can enter the bloodstream and trigger systemic inflammation. Now, we know with systemic inflammation, this can alter your leptin signaling and your brain's ability to pick up that proper leptin signal. This can then lead to leptin resistance and more hunger all the time, slower metabolism, and gaining more weight. This can also affect your gut health, causing more dysbiosis, inflammation in general, and it is a chronic and systemic problem. But the good news is that I have 8 tips to help with your gut health, and starting with number 1 is to do a microbiome cleanse. Now, what does this mean? Well, there are certain herbal medicines, I call it Cabo, my favorites, that you take in combination to help to get rid of some of those bad guys, some of those less favorable organisms in the gut. You probably know what I'm talking about here, but that's going to set the stage now for a healthier microbiome and decreasing the ability to have a lot of those G negative, so gram-negative bacteria, E. coli is one of them, that can secrete that LPS, and we want to minimize that as much as possible. So doing a regular microbiome cleanse a few times a year is something that I really do recommend to help with the microbiome, but also to make sure that we don't, exasperate that leptin resistance. Okay, tip number 2 is to put the good guys back in. As part of that whole protocol with the microbiome cleansing is to put some very specific probiotics back into that gut microbiome. Now, 2 that have been specifically studied, and you can take a look at this research, are Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium bifidum. And these 2 strains very specifically can help with that overall inflammation in the gut, lessening that and affecting the leptin levels as well in a more positive way. Okay, tip number 3 of my 8 tips for that gut health is to follow a seasonal diet. So eating foods that are local to you, wherever you're living, that you would be able to farm or to be able to, harvest on your own in the specific season in which you're at. And that's because the natural sunlight is going to program your food with certain information, and your body and your metabolism knows what to do with the food in the right season. This is based on your sunlight exposure, based on the temperature outside, how well you're actually metabolizing that food. So following a seasonal local diet is going to go a long way to help with your gut health. Okay, tip number 4 is to reduce your stress. This is something that I saw a lot with my patients that, when there is chronic stress, that definitely affects what's going on with your gut health. If you've ever been nervous before an event or a speech or something and you found yourself you had to run to the washroom, yeah, that is that whole connection between your gut and your brain and your nervous system. So whatever you can do, whether that's meditation, exercise, going for walks, spending more time in nature, this is really going to help to reduce your stress, but more importantly, helping with your gut health as well. Okay, tip number 5 is to make sure you are getting enough natural sunlight exposure. And one of the things you can do, if the season allows, is to eat outside. Eat your meals outside. It's going to go a long way to help with that proper programming for all of your hormones, your leptin signaling, in terms of being able to metabolize your food. And that natural light, that full spectrum light, is so healing, but also does help with your gut microbiome and the clock mechanisms that are happening in terms of digestion and your circadian biology. Okay, tip number 6 is to have regular meal times. So your meal time is actually a Zeitgeber, which is in German means a time giver. So it helps with your circadian biology to keep your regular meal times throughout the day. 2 to 3 meals a day is probably ideal. Avoiding snacking, of course, is something that I've shared when I talk about leptin resistance as well. So that's going to help with the proper timing of your metabolism and, of course, your proper digestion of your food by maintaining those regular meal times. Okay, tip number 7 is to avoid eating after dark. Okay, now your leptin is most active and secreted at nighttime around 12 midnight or so. So having food in your system, spiking your blood glucose and your insulin levels before bed is not a good idea. It will offset your proper leptin signaling, and it's something that I don't recommend. So try to stop eating after dark. At least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime is ideal. Okay, and tip number 8, Something that you may not have thought about is the mind-body connection. So ask yourself, what are you not able to digest? And again, with my patients, often I found that there was this correlation with, not being able to deal with things mentally, emotionally, relationships and things. What are you not able to digest in the mental, emotional sphere in your life, and how is that affecting your digestion? So this can be optimized by just, thinking about that and finding some resolve around some of those factors that you may not be able to digest properly. Now, we did talk a little bit about stress. I have another video that I want you to check out, 4 tips to reduce stress and cortisol levels. You're going to learn a lot more there. I'll see you there.